Dear viewers, my name is Veronica Rose. Welcome to the Cybersecurity Corner, and I have a CISO in the house today. She is from Egypt, and she'll share more about herself. Abia?
Hello, Veronica. Thanks for having me. My name is Abir Khidr. I'm the head of cybersecurity at the National Bank of Egypt. I've been with the bank for 9 years, and I helped to establish the cybersecurity program for the bank. Prior to that, I was working for Deloitte as a senior manager responsible for IT risk and assurance services, as well as information security consulting projects. And prior to those two, I was working in IT. I was an IT administrator, a software developer, and then software supervisor. So I started my cybersecurity career actually with an IT background, which helped me a lot with the career. I have this passion for supporting diversity in cybersecurity career, encouraging women and encouraging young people in general to join this career. We know it's a demanding career, but it's also very rewarding. I like to motivate others to join it. We have a scarcity problem in resources in this career, and we need to work on that. We need to work on addressing this. I helped co-found a group for women in cybersecurity for the Middle East with some of my colleagues from the different countries in the Middle East. I'm happy also to be a judge in the Women in Cyber Security in Africa Awards for this year, and I'm so proud and happy and privileged to have met several of the women talent in Africa in cyber, and you're one of them. So I think this is very important. I've also been the recipient of several of cybersecurity leadership awards, as well as a judge on the IFSEC influencers, cybersecurity influencers, and it's a global competition with Bonnie Butlin and Grant Leckie. So I'm proud of this work, proud of seeing a lot of women in cybersecurity, and also happy to see a new generation of youth in cybersecurity in general, which will help address the resource issues we have now. Thanks for having me.
That is awesome. It's an awesome profile, Abia. Yeah. So Abia, as a CISO with the vast experience in security, what keeps you awake?
Okay, so we mentioned that, cybersecurity and the CISO role in particular is a demanding but rewarding, as we say, one. We understand that what keeps CISOs awake in this role is the need for managing multiple streams. For standard roles in any function, you have one area of focus, and you put your efforts on this one area of focus. But when you are in a CISO role, you have multiple streams that you need to take care of, that you need to pay attention to. And what really keeps me awake is, I want to make sure that I'm doing my due care and doing it to the very best to manage all those streams in parallel, and to, stay abreast of all the evolving threats, the local ones, the regional ones. If you're a bank that operates in different countries, in different regions, you want to make sure you are aware of the threats and risks of operating of cybersecurity in those regions. You want to make sure you're aware of the global threats and their implications. You want to make sure that you're handling, the multiple streams, like ensuring the protection of your perimeter, ensuring the protection of your infrastructure assets, ensuring, not neglecting or paying special attention actually to the human element, to do security awareness for users in your organization, as well as your customers, because your customers are going to be using your products. And those days, because of COVID and other factors, there is a push to move to digital solutions and digital products. And for those, you want to make sure that they're properly protected, and your customers have sufficient awareness of the cybersecurity risks relating to their use, for example, mobile risks and all that. So you will have to pay attention to the human element. You have to pay attention also to the dimension of your supply chain risks, because especially if you're working in banking, you have open banking and you have interfaces with third parties. You want to make sure you're properly addressing third-party risks. Also, if you're in banking, you are in a very highly regulated industry, which means that you need to comply with several international standards, with several regulations, that you're subject to frequent audits, and the regulations you need to comply with are not only your local ones, but also in every region where you operate. So there is this stream of compliance that you need to pay attention to. So another thing that you also in the CISO role act as an advisor to your senior management in terms of cybersecurity and in terms of cybersecurity risks, and also in technology. So you need to read a lot, and you need to pay attention to those multiple streams in order to do an effective job. So so those are the multiple things that you need to take care of, and doing this multitasking and being able to do your due care is a big responsibility. So that's what keeps me awake and keeps most of the CISOs awake. Yeah.
That is awesome. Thank you for sharing with us. And on the same note, I would like you to share with us that beyond penetration testing, how should we develop a defensive cybersecurity workforce?
Yes. So we need to have, the diverse specializations needed for an effective cybersecurity team. We need to, penetration testing is very important, and we need to pay attention to it, to developing capability in it, as well as developing capabilities in other specializations and areas in cybersecurity. So you have NIST, they have the framework that they have developed for the cybersecurity workforce. It's a good reference if people want to have a look for the different roles required for the NICE, the NICE framework. So it's a good reference if people want to have a look for the different roles that are needed in cybersecurity teams, and their functions, the required skills, the abilities, and all that. I just like to highlight something here. This is a good framework for reference, but application will differ from an organization to another. Structure of teams will also differ from an organization to another. There may be focus on certain roles more than others. However, they are all important, and we need to have this diversity. Penetration testing, you need SOC analysts, you need security governance, because you need also in your security governance team that pays attention to your policies and compliance with all the frameworks, regulatory frameworks that you need to comply with, as well as creative specialists who will do your security awareness messages. If you're going to take care of the human elements, you need to do frequent alerting and create the messages and the method of communicating the cybersecurity awareness campaigns to your audience in a creative way that appeals to them and gives and delivers an effective message. You need to also have teams in your organization that will do the third-party assurance, for example. This is an often neglected component in cybersecurity teams. We were saying we need to pay attention to our supply chain risks. So whenever you're dealing with third parties that host your data or do IT services for you and all that, you need to have third-party assurance. You need to have some security audits over those third parties. So you need to have caliber in your team to address that as well. And there is an interesting role in the NIST framework that I find also sometimes overlooked in teams, which is the knowledge manager or a knowledge specialist. You know, this is an important role. I thought it was important only when you're working in a consulting firm, because naturally you do all the deliverables and you need someone to, you know, handle the knowledge repository that you accumulate. But then no, in cybersecurity defensive teams in organizations, whether in the banking industry, telco, or other industry, you need also this role, because it's very important that you maintain the proper documentation repositories of accumulated knowledge throughout the years, and the risk assessments that you do, residual risks that you're still retaining. This role is very important. So I think it's also one of the important roles in cybersecurity teams, along with the penetration testing team, with the SOC team, with the third-party assurance team, the cybersecurity governance teams in general, and the incident response teams. Incident response is very important. If you're developing resilience in your cybersecurity program, you need also part of that incident handling and management, and this is a very important team. All those teams have to work in a sort of harmonized orchestration, and this is very important to ensure timely execution of their tasks. I can't seem to be saying this enough. I think the most important challenge for CISOs and for cybersecurity teams is doing things timely. In a nutshell, I believe the important roles in cybersecurity are not one particular role or another. In teams, you have to have all the specializations needed. As we said, the framework to reference, but it's not, it should not be copied one-to-one. Apply effectively to your organization and customize effectively to your organizational needs.
Yeah. Thank you, Abia. I also believe not all frameworks are one size fits all. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Well said. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Abia, for sharing with us today. I believe our viewers have learned something from you. And to our viewers, thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on the upcoming sessions. Thank you, Abia.
Thank you, Veronica. Thanks. I'm delighted to be with you today. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
You too. Bye-bye.